Talking that whole time, and I was freaking muted. It's all good. Monday, Monday, Monday. That's the way to start a Monday. We had a great movement over this weekend with what's going on with price action on Bitcoin. Set up a little bit of a gap. We got to talk about that. We want to make sure that we stay on the right side of the trend because this market is going to be moving up
that whole time.
Here in a very near future. I want to make sure that everything is sounding good. Hold on one second. Weekend with what's going on. There it is. All right, having issues with the mic, but that's okay. Hey, we're going to be getting into this in a second. Yes, I'm going to play the Bitcoin pumping song because you cannot ignore the fact that the market is pumping over the last few months. And so we got to just get in the vibe. We're going to be diving into a bunch of charts today, so let's get it.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish shelter. It's not our fault. Blame the cult. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin pumping, altcoins pumping. I've been prepared for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pumping. I've been prepared for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pumping.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
quality.
nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Prepared for this.
If you're ready to dive into this, head over to my Twitter, retweet this live stream that is streaming on Twitter as well here on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Throw a 1 in chat if you're ready to get into it. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes pumping. Let's get those comments flying here in the live chat. We got some charts to go over today. We got some exciting things to talk about in this market, so let's get it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. The market's getting exciting again. You know what? We got some movement going on over the weekend with the price action pushing up all the way up here. 69, basically 69,480, 69.5. And kind of had this drawn out down here. I actually also wrote it in the description of this video, but even when the price was up here, I'm looking for a likelihood of the price coming down. It's looking like more and more like it's trying to get into this. It's coming right down into a liquidity zone right now. As you can see, this is where we're at before, about an hour ago. Let me refresh this. Can you see that all? Yeah, you can see all that there. This is just scooping up this liquidity below us. Boom, boom, boom. After we went up here and cleared, this is on the 24-hour. Let's go to the 48-hour. Just clearing out this liquidity, creating new liquidity below us, and coming down and sort of shaking all the weak hands off the market. So my question for you is, are you going to get shaken out? Yes, this is exciting. Should this be scary? No, this is opportunity, and this is what we got to talk about. Shout out to every single one of you that is here. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. And again, we are doing the giveaway. I think I'm going to start doing the giveaways on Monday, so it allows for people to retweet on the Friday and Saturday's Sunday sessions, so they can enter as well. So make sure you head over to my page and right here, boom, where's it at? Make sure you hit that retweet button, hit that like button, and all the information if you want to join our free traders group is right here. If you want to join and get 4 months free, that's right, 4 months free for Nord VPN, which everybody should be using a VPN, whether you use this one or one somewhere else. Regardless, you need to make sure you're protecting yourself, protecting your identity, protecting especially in crypto, so you can remove some of the likelihood of being scammed and attacked here in the market. Again, that's nordvpn.com/BitLab, and you get 4 months free. So we got some things to talk about. We've seen a lot of movement. We saw ApeCoin blow up over the weekends. DYDX also pumping quite well, and Doge waking up. Is this a signal that there's some fireworks to come here in the very near future in the altcoin market? Well, we should talk about that. I do want to say, everybody, first person to give me a number between 1 and 7, give me that number, whatever the first number I see is, and somebody else give me a number between 10 and 25. And then those are the two metrics I'm going to use to. You don't know what math I'm doing, but it's going to be so we can figure out who's going to get the giveaway. But hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I stepped away from the charts entirely. I actually got locked out of my email, my BitLab email. So if anybody sent me any emails, I will be getting back to all those today and getting you guys updated on any questions anybody had. But hope you guys, let's see. First number was 5. Boom. Second number, 11 is not in that metric. Yeah, it was. It was 5 and 11. I think I said 10 to 25. All right, cool. We got that. Hope you guys spent some time with some family, maybe watched football, maybe got outside, took a walk, something to remember. We got to keep our lives balanced. I talk about a lot in BitLab Academy also about how it's your mindset, your gratitude, your heart space, your life. This isn't just about money. We all need to be better at how we navigate life, how we navigate our feelings, how we navigate emotion. Yeah, as foo-foo as that might seem to you, when you get those things in check, it doesn't only help you invest and trade, it also makes every aspect of your life better. So let's continue on here. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. Danks will not be joining today, unfortunately, but we'll have him back on very soon. But we are still sitting here hovering above $2.3 trillion, $2.33 trillion to be more specific. And with this, we see Bitcoin still, basically up here in this range, 66 to 69,000. Are we going to get the move down? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some targets we need to watch. Got married this weekend. Falco, I didn't even know that was on the horizon. Well, shout out to you. Everybody shout out to Falco. Thank you for being here. I mean, are you here on your honeymoon? That's going to be wild if you are. But big love to you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, football sucks anymore. It's not about the game. It's about, well, you know what? The funny thing about football is I love watching football, but sometimes I can't tell if I'm watching football or if I'm watching football as breaks between all the damn commercials. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man. But hey, the game is it's so close in every game. It's I do enjoy it. And plus I'm on 2 fantasy teams. One of the teams I have in fantasy is a team that is specifically, it's all crypto influencers, and I'm getting my ass handed to me because half my players got hurt. So I'm just like, and we have 14 teams with 20 players each. So it's not like I can go and like pick up a backup. And so I'm really getting crushed there. But shout out to everybody that plays fantasy. But let's get back into this. I'm feeling a little sluggish today. My brain isn't firing. Maybe I rested too much yesterday. But let's kind of get into what we want to talk about. Bitcoin is not the new gold, says Plan C. One of my favorite analysts out there. Make sure you're following the real Plan C. He says it's a 10x improvement on gold. Once it reaches its full potential, it will have a market cap 10 times greater than gold. Now, will that be in our lifetime? We'll see. Will it be by 2045? We'll see. Gold is by 2045. Gold, $30 trillion market cap, potentially gold, $300 trillion market cap. I think that's a little lofty. But the point here is we need to remember, Bitcoin is not just a mechanism to store value. It's not just, hey, we're going to invest and protect our wealth, because depending on where you live globally, it could be a mechanism as currency transfer, right? Like a means of trade. You know, do we, for instance, in the US, are people using Bitcoin to buy coffee? It's a very, very small percentage who are, but it's somewhere maybe in Turkey or Bolivia or the Democratic Republic of the Congo. You see what I mean? Where the currency fluctuations are so violent that they would do anything to trade outside the system, to exchange, to buy goods and services, especially considering the number of people that are not banked. So that's just the store value and currency side. But then you have the basically the way that Bitcoin miners can strengthen power grids. You know, the mechanisms of there's so much that goes into Bitcoin beyond it just being a store of value. So we need to keep that in mind when we look at why and how. Is this going to do something like gold? Yes, but it's also going to, I think, far surpass it, much like Plan C thinks here. So let's make sure, interact with all the posts we see. Just want to influence you guys when you're out there navigating different socials. If you see something, if you like something, engage with it. You are helping that content creator. Now, continuing on here, this is the chart for all of you that were here with me on BitLab. I was doing a stream. It must have been about 3 weeks ago, and I couldn't find a chart, and I was scrolling for like 8 minutes while I was talking, but I was looking for a specific chart. This is that chart. This is unrealized gains, or AKA losses, on investment securities. Unrealized losses at banks are 7x higher than during the 2008 financial crisis. This is that chart. Kelly, why does Discover Crypto and BitLab always overlap each other? Because I'm very on time and they run over. So I'm ex-military, so I try to be as on time as possible. I used to let it linger on and I'd try to catch them right when they ended, but no. I tell you I'm going to be on at 11:30 Eastern time. That's when I'm on. So if they go a little longer, that's okay. And then they'll just dump in here whenever they're done. So, but big love to you. This is that chart though. How many of you were here on that stream when I could not find the chart I was looking for? This is that chart. Now, the interesting thing about this is 2025 quantitative easing, too big to fail stimulus 2.0 is going to be epic. Now, remember what happened in 2008. Massive economic turmoil with all of the mortgage-backed securities and the subprime loans and crazy with what happened with the economy and how much money was printed in the economic stimulus. Let's actually look at this up. 2000, this is all, if you don't care about this economic stuff, bear with me, because this is going to directly impact what's going to happen in Bitcoin and altcoins. This is going to directly impact the risk narrative in these markets. So 2008 bailout totaled. Let's see. So I saw there was, I don't want to join your newsletter. Let's see. Congress passed a $700 billion bailout of the financial system. Think about that. $700 billion to bail out the financial system. Now let's go back to this. This is 2008. See these issues? Look at these issues. This is, I mean, it's ridiculous how much larger the issues are right now with unrealized losses. Now, the problem with this is a lot of this is going to be somewhat finicky, because it's not all going to be just, this is like a significant failure, because some of these are different loans, different liabilities that do have some sort of longer term time frame on it. So they may be able to weather a good deal of this. But this is a massive impact and sort of risk assessment of what's happening in markets. This is what we're dealing with right now. And everybody's wondering, are they going to print? Are they going to print? Look at how bad. I mean, this is terrible. So this is held to maturity securities. These are available for sale. These are the two different colors, but this is a massive, even if you took half of this away, this would still be more than double what you saw over here. This is bullish for me when I consider investing in markets. Now, why would I be bullish on this level of just debauchery of just losses in the banking sector? Because as this digital asset news says here, too big to fail stimulus, because they do not want JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo and other large financial institutions to fail, because it would literally crash the economy. And this is the issue. These are the troubles that they're having right now. So with that being said, then we also see things around the world are falling in line with the Bitcoin narrative. We see Japan's Democratic Party of the People leader pledges to cut Bitcoin and crypto taxes if elected. This is going to be the path forward, and it's going to happen faster than you can imagine. Well, hey, KJM, you can listen to the other one, pause this one, and then you just play it back 2x speed and you catch up. That's an easy way to do it. But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing issues. This is going to impact global realizations are going to come very soon to how these things are going to need to be taken care of. Money printing is just something, it has to happen because of the path that they took us down. And when we see things like Japan, talking about this, we saw Italy was opposite of this, but they're a little bit more subjugated to like the control of the ECB, the European Central Bank. But we're seeing all kind of conversations around that as well. We also see the European Central Bank provided one of the strongest quotes yet regarding Bitcoin. Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, but those who don't own it will be impoverished. If it has no intrinsic value, then how is it such a threat to the central banks, to a European Central Bank, to the Fed? And the story just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And that is, the European Central Bank is bullish on Bitcoin and forecasts a price of $10 million. While the current market value of Bitcoin is in the range of 50 to 60,000, it could be argued that any price for Bitcoin is equally plausible, including 10 million or more. They're thinking they're doing a hit piece on Bitcoin, and they're just saying, hey, this is so damn good. This thing could go up to like $10 million. It is $66,000, $67,000 right now. Guys, we have so much room to go. And shout out to everybody that is tuned in. Again, we will be doing last week's giveaway today, and I think I'm going to be doing all future giveaways on Mondays, by the way. So if you do want to participate this week, head over to my page right here at Kelly Kellam. If you're watching on Twitter, you can just scroll right below it. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to the page, hit that retweet button, hit that like button. We do giveaways every week. We draw a random person, basically we do a random math equation, and then we do a random day, random person. Sometimes we do 2 or 3. But coming back over here, banks are at the worst place they've ever been with liabilities and losses. Japan, potentially not taxing crypto and Bitcoin. European central banks trying to do hit pieces, but just making the case stronger for Bitcoin. And after all that said and done, IBIT had one hell of a week, $1.1 billion in new cash. Best week since March, past VTI for third place overall in year-to-date flows. Insane for a new launch. And so third place is not a crypto ETF. Remember, this is where it's at on this ranking on all ETFs. Insane for a new launch, especially late in the year. The rest of the top 5 is each over 20 years old and over 300 billion. IBIT's assets under management is 26 billion, which is in the top 2% of all ETFs. This is just incredible what IBIT's been able to do. And this is just one of these major Bitcoin spot ETFs. This is incredible for what we're setting up into going into 2025. This type of thing, whether or not you like ETFs or not, whether you think they're very bullish for Bitcoin or you hate it and everybody should only self-custody, this is going to be, you see something like this on the Bloomberg terminal. That's what this is. The professional financial analysts and traders and investment bankers they're paying a huge amount of money to get this basically terminal news. It's a membership deal. And essentially, when you're starting to get this type of data that is just rocketing forward in the face of the traditional asset monetary system, traditional asset investment landscape, and you're seeing something perform better than any asset in history. Now, I'm not talking about Bitcoin itself. I'm talking about IBIT. So this is a BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF. It's a traditionally traded asset that when people buy that, BlackRock has to go and buy the same relative amount of exposure to Bitcoin. But on the traditional asset side, you're getting data getting put in the face of all these people that a lot of them probably been very reluctant. A lot of them are probably only just now getting to the point that not even that they've considered. They're just starting to be like, okay, you're planting those seeds and then it slowly starts to burn forward. Remember, there's 330,000 registered investment advisors out there, and they've only just, I would argue, it's probably under 5% of them are actually pushing these Bitcoin spot ETFs at this point. We have so much room to go. In fact, I'm still of the belief that we have a very high likelihood for a super cycle this market cycle, meaning that we are going to have more than expected growth on the bull, basically parabola, than we have compared to prior cycle, and especially considering the last cycle was cut a little short with the Chinese mining ban hoax. Now, continuing on here, what else could make us bullish? Well, do you know what Stripe is? Stripe is a digital payments processor. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Stripe because they canceled our account for no reason back in April, I think, and we had to, right after we had so many people sign up for BitLab, and so then we had to have everybody re-sign up with the new payment processor because you couldn't migrate the memberships over. But it's still important to notice, payments processor company Stripe has bought stablecoin platform Bridge for $1.1 billion. This is the biggest acquisition in crypto so far. Now, how the hell can Stripe afford to buy this for $1.1 billion? Well, let's go ahead and look. Stripe's estimated payment volume has grown each year, and in 2023 alone, it surpassed $1 trillion. This is a major, it's essentially a plug and play payment processor. People can integrate on websites, on Shopify, on basically for online commerce. Good morning, Peter John Lerm. Jack Mahler's a good guy too. No, that's Strike. Strike is different than Stripe. Stripe. This is Stripe. So this is basically it's back-end payment processing, and it's used in so much different e-commerce stores. It essentially allows you to immediately plug in to take payments. Strike is, I don't even know if that's the URL. Excuse me. Here we go. Strike.me. This is Strike. This is the whole, basically Lightning payments and stuff like that. This is different, whole different company. A lot of people confuse those two, but the fact that now you got me messed up. The fact that Stripe bought a stablecoin processor, what would that mean? What does that indicate to you if a traditional asset payment processor with Visa, MasterCard, Amazon, American Express, so on and so forth, what does it signal to you if they're buying a massive stablecoin platform? Signals to me that they're likely working into integrating some form of crypto payments. So that would be very, very big. What is this? I don't know. I'm feeling a little slow today, guys, so thank you for sticking along with me. But this is so bullish. But we want to talk about crypto. What the hell's going on with crypto? Well, let's just start right here. A super signal on the monthly volume oscillator comes when Bitcoin volume gets extremely low in the bull market. Here's the last time we've seen this. December 2012, December 2016, September 23. No super signal. right there on 19 to 22. This would be the first cycle to see two of them. We can weed out bearish low volume by checking out if there was extremely high volume beforehand, which isn't the case here. Extremely low volume in a bull market is extremely bullish. What does this look like? Let's go ahead and take my face off the screen so you can see the entire deal there. Where is that at? Right here. So, you can still hear me. So looking here, what do we see? I want you to look, when you guys look at charts, you need to look at the entire chart. What do we see on the charts? We got the price over here, logarithmic. We have percentage points. We have volume, right? Unbalanced volume. And what are we seeing? See this drop? Right when price is consolidating near an all-time high. And that gave you a huge, this is basically people get bored out of the market. That's the best way to understand this. When people get bored, it's a great time to buy. So if you're feeling bored, you can use that signal and do stupid shit in this market that's going to wreck your portfolio. Or you can use that signal of being bored to realize you might be coming into a great opportunity zone. So this is incredible that back here, we're seeing this launch. Same thing here. We're getting multiple points here, but each one of these, all of this was a great buying opportunity. All this boredom was a great buying opportunity. Now, when we get, all this volume also signaled somewhere near where the end of that move was before the next one. What do we see here? This was the end of last summer. Right here was the end of last summer. Let me put my face back on now. End of last summer, right here. And as this came down, when everybody was bored as shit, all of us were. When we look at this and we zoom out, this was just like, it felt like it was teasing us. Oh, it's going to go. No. Oh, it's going to go. No. Okay. I'm tired of getting wrecked. I'm tired of chopping myself out. So everybody got bored. No volume. And then what happened? Bop. We jumped to the upside. Now, what does this look like? Let's actually go out of that, go out of that, go out of that. Okay. It's right when the volume disappeared below this extreme volume low threshold. And what happened here? Price action rocketed to the upside for that next major leg up. What do we see here? We see the volume coming back down. Does this mean it's going to happen today? No. This means that we are on the precipice of that next major move. In fact, some would argue that next major move has already started. It's just a matter of what your risk tolerance is at this moment. When we dive in, let's go ahead and make sure, did the bookmark, boom, let's hit that. Again, everybody, as you are tuned in, we are doing another giveaway from last week. If you do want to participate in this week's giveaway, head over to my Twitter page here at Kelly Kellam or at Academy BitLab, either or, because I retweeted this there as well. And all you need to do is hit that retweet button. You can quote tweet as well if you want, and hit this like button. And if you want to find more information on our free traders group, it is right here. It takes you through that process. And then, of course, if you want to get 4 month free, if you don't have a VPN or you want to switch over and get 4 months free on I've been using Nord VPN for about 4 years or something like that. You can just head to nordvpn.com/BitLab to get that deal. You get basically, this says it's a Black Friday exclusive. They only added that because Black Friday is coming up. This is a deal that I've been setting up for you guys for the last month. And take advantage of this while it's still there. 4 months extra for free. Just take advantage of that. But now coming back over to this, we're seeing every time the interest in the market, volume is a great gauge of interest. Too much interest, okay, cool off period, boom. Too much interest, okay, we're coming into a cool off period. You know what I mean? So what we're seeing here, we're coming into no interest. Retail's not here yet, but we have seen over the last 6-7 months, we've seen record levels of whale buying every one of the little dips that we've had. And meanwhile, the volume is very low because retail is not participating. The volume retail is participating in is giving their crypto to the whales. Yeah. So this is a great, great signal. Are you prepared? Because there's more signals. What are they? Shows here, remember I said it seems like we've already broken out. This is narrowing down all the noise, cutting out all the noise. This is Bitcoin on a monthly chart. The monthly chart cuts out all the noise. And you can see on the monthly chart, accounting for the candle body, a candle body is right here, resistance, support, giant bull flag, and we have broken out. It does get very noisy when you're on a smaller time frame, even on the daily or the 12-hour. All this. In fact, it's a broadening wedge because this is what you have to do to touch all the candles. But when you cut out the noise, other than all the massive risk the entire market is in, guys, money printing's coming. The breakout is here. If that's the case, what does that suggest on the monthly chart? What does that suggest is coming next? Well, let's go ahead and look at it. So let's let me go to another chart. BTC. So there we go. So there's a bull flag. If that's a bull flag, then what does that suggest? That suggests you measure a flagpole from the bottom of the flagpole to this top, and you take this out, boom, just like this. And this is suggesting that we're going up to $183,000 from here. If you're looking at this just like on a bull flag. Now, if you feel, $183,000 high, well, there's a couple things you need to pay attention when you're using patterns when you're looking at a chart. When this breaks out, this is going to be very, very quickly, especially after we clear this high here, basically 73.8. Let's move that. I don't even know why that was there. The pattern suggests we go to $183,000. Does that mean you take this trade and you only take profit when it's $183,000? No, because this is going into price discovery, meaning it's going into prices Bitcoin has never been in before. There's a whole landscape. There's a whole world out here in support and growing support of Bitcoin, but there's a whole world out there that's also potentially growing in resistance and suppression of Bitcoin, like we were talking about with the European Central Bank, with the Fed, with different regulatory issues. Are they going to start trying to push custody in the U.S. only by ETF or by bank custodians? That's a possibility. That would have an impact on limiting price behavior because people would get a little disinterested in that. On the flip side, if that were the case, would people just start squirreling away money, buying as much as possible and squirreling it away into self-custody before that law takes effect? Now, that's not on the horizon. These are just different considerations you have to have when you're thinking about what's happening here. This is a bull flag. If this was on a 4-hour chart, almost all of us have got bull flag. Okay, measure it out. That's the target. So don't look at this and go, man, that price is high. Go, okay, that's a target I need to be aware of. Now, where does that target relate to, like, for instance, like the fib extensions? So measuring from the top here to the bottom there, it's Fibonacci. And does that target line up with anything? Well, the target is directly in the middle of the 2.618 and the 3.618. Where did we go last cycle? Let's look from the top. Option F or Alt F if you're on PC gives you a Fibonacci to the bottom. So boom to boom. And I just drag this over a little bit so we can see. Let me move this over. So this goes to the 2.618 to 3.618. This actually broke through the 3.618. So this actually would show, even though $183,000 sounds and feels like a lot of money, 180K plus, this would result, if this was a top, this would result in less of a move than we saw in this previous cycle. And this move was less of a move than we saw in the previous cycle before that. So that shows that that's not even, yeah, it is. There we go. I mean, this is like 6.8, it's like a 9.618 or something like that. And this next one, 3.618. This one between 2 and 3. Now, am I saying we're going to $180,000? I'm not saying that. I'm saying when trying to outline what a target could be from this pattern, look to see if there's any other key areas we should pay attention to. A couple of the ones I would pay attention to are the 1.382 right here. I think there's going to be a large hurdle once we get up in that $90,000 to $100,000 range. I think it's going to be one of two ways. We're just going to just slice through it because people have ultra FOMO that kicks into gear. Or we push up here, reject, come back down into the $73,000, $74,000 range, and then have that next leg up. So we have to be prepared for that. I am betting with my money. You all can do whatever you want. This is not financial advice. I am betting that Mark Dutch, what's up? He said, I sneeze sometimes too. Doesn't mean I'm ugly, right? I don't even know what that means. But we have to pay attention to this hurdle because this is also, look at this, the 1.382 and the 1.618, this sort of golden extension right here is right at near that 100,000 mark. That's $103,000. The next level up, when we see the target is up here, well, we have the 2.618 right here. I expect this area will be a pretty decent. Let's do a little target here. Let's actually do this out like this. I expect these two areas to be pretty significant targets. And if we're just cruising and the adoption flood is coming in, there's no telling what could happen. But my point here isn't to give you targets about where the top will be. My point here is that if you're bearish right here on basically a bull flag that started in September of last year to where we're at right now, we are, let's see, 396 days in. So over a year into the formation of this bull flag. We have a macro bull flag. We just broke out on this month. And remember, October 1st, everybody said October's canceled. October 4th, I tried to bring some sense to everybody, calm the fears. And here we are with the October candle breaking out of a macro pattern. Guys, it's only just beginning. This is feeling good. Now, I'm not saying that we can't have a little bit more of a pullback in the area. We're going to look at some TA here in just a couple minutes to give you some specific targets on Bitcoin and a couple altcoins to make sure that you are not getting chopped out into small movements. These movements that we're seeing, these couple hundreds into $1,000 or $2 movements, this is just par for the course right now. And in fact, it's unfortunate there's a lot of people wrecking themselves right before we get that next major leg to the upside. I don't need that anymore. And this is it. It's not just Bitcoin, it's altcoins too. This is a beautiful setup that we're seeing here because this is going to be one of those indicators of the risk coming back in the market. Not only the global liquidity, which we just outlined at the beginning of this video. If you didn't show up late, you can start back from the beginning, watch it on 2x speed to catch up with us. But I talked a little bit about a huge concern with broader markets that is about 7 to 8 times larger than we saw in 2008. There is cause for concern. Now, will that lead to bearishness in markets, or does it actually set up the perfect bullish storm? Because the only way to prevent that massive monster cautionary signal is to print money. And that's what they've done in every administration since they started printing money. So what we're seeing here, this is that USDT.D dominance, stablecoin dominance. When people are selling, say you're selling Bitcoin for USDT, well, you're adding to the dominance of USDT going up. When you are holding in stablecoin, waiting, you have a dry powder bag and you're waiting to deploy, and then you start deploying and other people start deploying, meaning you start buying Bitcoin or altcoins, whatever. You're buying crypto with that USDT. When you're buying crypto with it, the dominance of stablecoin goes down. So what we can see here is that there's been a little bit of a consolidation trend. Oh, what have we seen the last 7 months? Well, since the last 7 months, we've seen the markets kind of consolidate to the downside. But this is starting to break out to the downside. This breaking out to the downside suggests positive bullishness coming in to crypto. The buying narrative is starting to return, potentially in a very big way. Now, what else are we seeing? We're also seeing Ethereum has just broken the inverse head and shoulders pattern. See you at 3K. That's what Mikey Bull says here. And we can see this beautiful inverse head and shoulders broke out. Let's watch. Let's not just say, I'm only going long, 100x. No, you got to make sure you're managing risk right now, because this is the ultimate time for people to get, because everybody thinks that they're about to make a lot of money soon, so they make stupid decisions. There's a very high likelihood this will have some sort of rotation down and test somewhere in this region before it has that move to the upside. So we're everything is just on a knife's edge right now with excitement. I think it's 14 days left to that big date, early November. That's going to be a very big deciding factor on the bullishness of markets in the near term. So maybe we're just hesitate a little bit longer. The next week and a half. It's only about 10 days left of October. But as it stands right now, we're doing quite well. But there's other crypto as well. One of the things we got to talk about, AVAX. No wonder AVAX L1s, layer 1s are exploding. After Avalanche 9000, the process of launching a new L1 has become more streamlined. No more subnet requirements. The concept of subnets has been simplified, reducing the complexity of launching new blockchains. AKA, they made it a hell of a lot easier. Kind of like, I don't think they did this because of Solana, but you see what Solana is doing and the amount of volume they're doing because all those meme coins that are launched on them. I mean, 20,000, 30,000 a day. Well, I don't think Avalanche is interested in going out there and, doing a huge meme run. I think what they are looking towards is adoption and integration and Web 2 legacy companies that are not fully integrated into Web 3 yet, giving them an easy way to launch blockchains on top of Avalanche. This is what that does. And this is some of the requirements that change from 2,000 AVAX per validator to 1.3 AVAX per month per validator. I mean, that makes it a hell of a lot of easier to launch in their ecosystem. Basically to incentivize and reduce friction for people adopting into that token. Now let's go on. We got to look at some TA. We got to look at some different coins. But shout out to all my Avalanche holders out there. I've been holding Avalanche for a long time. How's that portfolio doing that we've been building together? That's not the page. We're back up in that 90K range. Remember, this went down to like 40, 50. This is a position folder. I've been doing very minimal transactions in this, kind of cutting some here, maybe small rebalancing. I'm sharing all of that with you in the Discord. That link is right there on the bottom there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. That link is going to be going away. That deal is going to be going away once the price breaks above $74,000. So take advantage of that. You get 15 days free, and you've got also 30-something% off for the life of your account. And if you want to upgrade and get the full courses, there's a full course in there that you also get all the indicators and stuff as well. But I talk a lot about portfolio management, position trading versus scalp trading. Most of you shouldn't be scalp trading. For those of you that do, join us in the Telegram. The link is directly below the video right here. Boom, join us in our Telegram. There's so many different signals going on all the time in there. But when we're looking at what's going on with Bitcoin, and when we're looking at what's going on with this portfolio, we've been making some strides. Tau's up 70%. Aerodrome's up 49%. Remember, we took huge profits on Aerodrome early, rotated them out. It became a stronger asset and way more tied into the community. So when the price dropped pretty significantly, we got back into it. And we could see ONDO also. I'm so bullish on what's going on ONDO in the near future. I know they got some incredible things coming out in the near future. Chainlink's down. This doesn't bother me at all. When I do get some small amounts of extra DCA money, I'll add this in there. But I'm not worried about this at all. And this is what I'm trying to prove to you. You don't need to be in green on every asset 100% of the time through the market. You have to be able to ride through the red. If you have a conviction on something and you're trading spot, there isn't a liquidation price. But you do need to make sure that you're picking assets that do have a very high likelihood that it's, for instance, like Near, Chainlink, Injectives, everyone that's in this folder, in this portfolio, I have confidence that it's not a project that's going to get rugged. But you never know what could happen, because remember what happened with Terra Luna last cycle. So many people were ultimately bullish on it. They thought it was, and that one completely disintegrated to the ground. That's why we have a basket of different coins, attributed to different parts of the market. And some of them you just wait for them, like Florence Finance. When the market dropped, this was a micro cap. And so when the market dropped, it took a pretty big hit, but it's a small amount of money that's in there as compared. You see what I mean? You're not putting yourself at risk by putting undue amounts of risk in your portfolio. BitLab Academy, do you think that Aether can hit $1? Well, let's start with that. Shout out to Gabby, always in here. Big love to you. We will be doing several member streams this week, everybody. So become a member of the channel. You get access to that, or become a member right there. You see that link on the left, and you get in the Discord that's just nonstop, continual alpha in there with so many great people in our community there. Sharing chart requests. But I do just remember, when you come over here to BitLab Academy, make sure you have your notifications turned on, because if you have them turned on, make sure you're subscribed and it's turned on, because you'll get notified when I'll do a post. Sometimes I share it for non-members as well. I usually delete them right after. I'll do it for like the first 3 minutes. And if you see it, you're able to hop in just to incentivize. I want everybody to turn on your notifications. And if you are a member, this way you get notified when there's a member stream, so you can join the live stream and chat almost specifically with me. And I bring in other guests in there sometimes too. But let's look at Aether. Aether. Okay, so this is a bull flag. It's too new of a coin to be looking at this on the monthly. So let's get down to like the 2 hour. So Aether is, I don't want to say a competitor, but it's in the same niche as Render. Okay. It's in the same, it's not, hold on. I need to do an older chart. That's not it. There we go. I was like, why is this not loading? There we go. So can this hit $1? Well, let's actually come over here. ATH. Aether is a GPU, basically distributed GPU power. And I met their team and also heard them speak at the conferences throughout this last year. There's several conferences I went to. And they have some really big things lined up. There's a lot of partnerships they're already working with. And the fact that if I really like Render, great. Render's already in the multi-billion-dollar asset, market cap space. This is a $200 million market cap. And for me, that's huge opportunity. So that's one of the reasons why I picked up some Aether. Do I think that this can go to $1? Let's see. What's the max supply? 42 billion. Let's see. Cardano is what? 39, 40 billion. And that's gotten up into the $3 range. I think when this market starts exploding, can this 20x? I would venture to say yes. This is in probably the 20 to 40x range because of what they're building out. In fact, you can come over to their website. You can see, let me take my face off so you can actually see the page. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything, guys. I'm just talking about this because somebody in the community asked about it. Powerful GPU compute solutions on demand. Accelerate growth and get closer to the edge with Aether's distributed cloud compute infrastructure. We provide secure, cost-effective access to enterprise-grade GPUs around the world. So they already have 43,000 GPUs on demand, over $400 million worth of compute capacity, 23 countries supported, 99% uptime. And, you can see some of the things that they're part of, integrated with. Animoca Brands, you see Filecoin Foundation, Gate.io, Magic Eden, Bybit. I mean, they are very, very plugged in, and I think they're very undervalued. So absolutely. It's hard to do a lot of TA on something that is on the newer side here, unless you come down and, for instance, like the smaller time frame. So, and let's go ahead, double click here. So this looks like a kind of like a giant head and shoulders. So there is a bit of a concern here that we may get a little bit of a washout to the downside. But in the same vein, we have this bullish divergence here, right in this zone. But there's a lot of money coming out right now. So there's a little bit of a concern at the moment. There's a little bit of a rising, broadening wedge here too. I do think that this suggests that we may get a little bit of a pullback here. But again, that shouldn't scare you. That should say, okay, if I believe in this, this might get a pullback. I can either strengthen my position, or I can just sit on my hands. Now, where would I be looking? Let's see. Got a couple bounces right in here and a rejection right here. So yeah, I'd be looking somewhere in this zone, 5 cents. About 40 cent. about a 5% drop in there. Can it go deeper? Yes. I don't necessarily think this is going to happen, but we can measure it out. I don't think this is going to come down to, all the way back down to this low, but we have to have our eye on that. This is the target from this sort of head and shoulders, but this is that low. This is, if this does drop down to here, this is what I'd be looking for. And that's, it's a big drop, but for a small market cap, it's about 20%. That would be a great opportunity, I think, if that were to happen. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, for me, I wouldn't be trading this much, positioning. I'd be looking for an opportunity here, and if it dropped further, maybe another one right in here. But I'd be looking to scoop up to add to a position. That's what I'd be doing. Non-leverage. I'm just scrolling through y'all's comments. Let's look at Avalanche, since we were just talking about that major change. There we go. I'll pull my face back on camera. So bullish, that news, but this is not looking. It's kind of looking like we got a big symmetrical triangle. Looks like we got a big symmetrical triangle. We can just take this line right here. Boom. Let's delete that. Delete that. Delete that. See that? Big symmetrical triangle. Now on this, what we do, this is going to have some hurdles along the way, but you measure that move. It's like that, but we're going to kind of rotate it like this so we can actually have targets to the upside. We can do a downside target, but I don't think this one's going to really, I don't think this is going to break down and come down in here. But if I'm looking at this purely, not looking at any context of the market, and I'm just looking at this chart as it stands by itself, then I do have to acknowledge that this isn't a rising channel. Rising channels tend to break bearish. So does that mean this breaks potentially out of this to the downside, comes down and taps in here like a bit of a bear trap, and then continues going up, or even potentially coming and actually breaking below this, coming into this huge base that we've had from this rejection, these bounces, this chop right in here, rejection, bounce right here? Are we going to get an opportunity at Avalanche down here in the 23s? Throw one in chat if you think we're going to get $23, Avalanche. I think it's very possible. But does that make me bearish on Avalanche? No. Because this rising channel is also right in the middle of a rounding bottom. So I would like this to hold above this low right here, which is 24, basically 24.21. If we do get a little bit of a bear trap down in here, that'd be great. Coming down below here starts to get a little bit more muddy on what's happening in the chart. But very bullish overall for where this can go. And when we look at this, I mean, when we look at this, even just the 1.618 is $236. So I'm very bullish on this. Very bullish on this. Tau also taking some spills. And as expected, remember last week I talked about the sort of rising wedge that we have here. And in addition to that, and I took it from this low to this low. This kind of bounced a little above it, but then look, it's kind of holding on to the line, loses it, comes up, tests it, almost like a confirmed breakdown. Are we about to see a little bit better opportunity in Tau? I hope so. Tau's one of my favorite plays this cycle. Okay, rejection, bounce, 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 bounce. Are we going to come down and test this low right here? And if we lose that, is this next right here? These are the three levels I'm watching right now. If something drastic in the market happens, we could come back down here to 3. That's a major, major drop. There's a lot of hurdles before we get all the way down in here. I'm looking at the markets right now in the next 2 weeks. that if we do get downside price action, whether it's in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tau, ONDO, Aerodrome, Avalanche, any of these projects we've been looking at, Link, I'm looking at them as opportunities because of that chart that we showed by CryptoCon that showed that when you get diminished interest in the markets, AKA volume is shriveled up, that tends to be the best time to buy, especially with where we're at in the market cycle. Remember where we're at in the market cycle. We're right here before this, right here before this. This is too early in the market. This is when the market cap was so small. This is like, this is cent. But looking at these two as analogs, any dips we have right now in this market, you need to be thinking long and hard about what you're doing if you're consider selling. Now, similarly, like we saw on Avalanche, let me go ahead and move. Oops. Like we saw on Avalanche. Okay, I can do it, I promise. There we go. We have a rising channel here as well. This is on ONDO. At the same time, we had these two highs. What do you see right here and right here and right here? My fingers work, I promise. There we go. What are these two things outlined? Well, look down here, BitLab Trading Stack. We see a high on the RSI and a lower high. We see a high on the stochastics and a much lower high. And this also, the money flow is starting to flip bearish. And look at all the bearish signals right now. So in the short term for ONDO, this was telling us coming into this that we were likely going to reject at this upper level of resistance. We've come back down. We're kind of testing the waters here. Maybe we get a little bit of a bounce. Here. If we do, that's kind of lost and we come down and test into this region. But more ultimately, I do think that we'll probably be getting another opportunity down here, basically 71 to 70 cent sort of zone, potentially even coming back down to retest this. I do think we'll hold above 70. But remember, these are the last days that we're going into right now of your ability to stack in this market. So when you see rising channel, but we're so bullish on this in this bull market, then you see this setting up an opportunity for you to stack into your position if it does come down in there. Near. Just straight frustrating price action here, right? Just chopping sideways. This very well also could lose and come back down into here. It's more bearishness on the dashboard here on the BitLab Trading Stack. And remember that link that's right there to my right, to your left. I don't know how to, to my left, but to y'all's right looking at this because this is my right hand. So boom, that way. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Go there. You can sign up, 15 days free, 33% off, but then that's for the Discord community and all the charts, and there's so much content in there, the member streams and everything. But you also get access to upgrade and get the BitLab courses. There's 120 course lessons in there, from everything from on-chain data to technical analysis to charting to psychology of trading to portfolio allocation to token. I mean, it's all in there. But you also, with that, you also get the BitLab Trading Stack indicators. So you can see this. Let's turn on the BitLab volume here. Let's see if there's any interest. This is all part of the stack. Now look at this. It makes sense now. Looking at this on the 4-hour chart, we're getting all of this liquidity dumping into the market at these levels. And so this is just, we have this massive barrier overhead. Now, if we come down to the 1 hour, let's see if we have any sort of volume support. Look at this. I mean, I couldn't have made this up. This green box, this is part of the BitLab volume. It's just printing where there's a lot of liquidity interest coming into the order books, defending a zone, defending the zone. And we're coming back, testing into the zone. If we do lose this and come down into the zone, we may be getting another opportunity for near coming down all the way as low as 464. But even if the market starts having that move to the downside, I do think we'll likely come back down and test maybe 450, which would be an amazing opportunity, potentially even coming into this zone right here, because you can see rejection, bounce, 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 rejection, rejection. We're kind of bouncing on it here. So are we going to get one more bounce? We'll have to see, because we are seeing on the 6 hour negative money flow as it stands. The RSI has been trending down. This is a purple line here. Okay. The VWAP is angled to the downside, but everything is at a knife's end right now. You see, even within this pattern, is coming to decision time. I am watching on all my assets, whether or not you're leaning bullish or bearish. I'm expecting, for the most part across the board, we will get something like this. Or conversely, something like this. Something like this, where it comes down, really fakes you out, and then comes up, something like this. So pay attention to the whipsaw in both directions, clearing the liquidity in the markets, because that's the name of the game. We just saw it this weekend with the whipsaw up. We broke out. Now we're coming back down. Look at the perfectness of the technical analysis on this. Just looking, we have the rounding body. We have two bearish divergences there. See this? 2 more bearish divergences here. Yes, printed on your chart automatically with the BitLab trading stack here on the BitLab Intelligence. And we have this dynamic support zone and the weekly VWAP here, and then it gets sucked up because of the volume throughout the week. And now we've lost the weekly VWAP. We lost the trend signal line. We've fallen through this support zone. I think at minimum, we will come down here to 66.2, 66.3. But we still have that opportunity, a little bit lower to get to really chop people out. People get over leveraged, shorts get cleared, they get over leveraged long, and then it comes down, flushes those people out, and then you get the move. That's what I'm feeling like is most likely at the moment. But I'm excited. Everything that's happening in this market. We've been stacking for years, some of you months, some of you only days. But patience is the name of the game. The bulls are just beating up against the walls of the pin right now. We got to let them calm down for a second so we can allow the right people to be bored, so we can let this market absolutely rip. But that's all I got today, guys. We do have the giveaway to do, so let's do the giveaway. We had the number at the beginning of the stream, 5 and 11.5. That would be Friday. So let's do Friday's stream. Friday's stream we're picking, and then 11 is the number. So let's go over and let's see. Again, if you want to enter these giveaways, come over to my page. I will post the link right here in the live chat. If you're here on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, you should be seeing this right now. It's my page right here, or on Academy BitLab. Hit that retweet, hit the like button, explore these links, get involved, help support the channel, and make sure you're getting access to the best signals, the best community, and also a nordvpn.com/BitLab. But now we got to do the giveaway. So let's do that. That would be Friday, which was, what day was Friday? I'm looking at my calendar. Sorry. What is today? October. It was 18th. Okay. So let's go to the 18th. Here it is. Oh, dude, that's awesome. This one has 11. The 11th person is going to get it. Crazy. View post engagement. Post 1. All right, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but we can't get him. So now we got to go back to 10, 11. The Ampromancer. I'm just screenshot. I'm gonna add you there. Follow the Ampromancer. Are you live in chat today? Hey, you won the. Oops. Shout out. Love you guys. I appreciate you all. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Make sure you head over to nordvpn.com/BitLab. The page should look something like this. Get the deal. You get 4 months free when you sign up here. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let's head over to Blockchain Basement. Show some love. I appreciate you all. And that's all I got for today. Let's go. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. See you later.